All right, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow human beings, how are you? My system says I'm live. Hope all you can hear me and see my freaky looking mug here. First of all, thank you for joining me. If you're watching me live, thank you for taking your valuable time here. Um, if you're not watching me live, if you catch it on the replay, thank you very much. Um, if you happen to, you know, happen to refer this to other people, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Hope Wednesday evening. A few things first. Thanks for joining me. This is my second official stream. Hey, Trevor, how's it going? It's my second official stream. That's me, RZ. So this is my second official full stream. Won't be too long, but this is kind of my second part two of my origin story. Before I further get a little bit more into my origin story, two friends. I only say their part names Wild Bill and David J. One's a videographer friend of mine. The other one is an artist friend of mine. Their birthdays are today, so happy birthday to you guys. Also, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. for all you California people out there. And for my friend Clint out in Utah, that's 8 p.m. That's no, I guess 7 p.m. Anyway, whatever. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My friend Peter Semetti is having another one of his streams. Peter Semetti and from Alterna Comics. He's having one of his streams again. So one of the other things I'll be doing in my live streams is promoting other live streams. So Peter Semetti, Alterna Comics, 9 p.m. So that's Alterna Comics right there. So look him up on YouTube, become a subscriber. He's awesome. He knows what he's doing. So anyway, and then so if you want to see, hey Ryan Wynn, how's it going? Another guy who has an awesome YouTube stream thing going on is a good friend of mine, Ryan Wynn. He's an awesome artist. I have a lot of his work, so look him up, Ryan Wynn. That's with two N's. You can't lose with Ryan Wynn. That's what I say. So, so anyway, again, 9 p.m. Alterna Comics stream on YouTube. Look them up. Also, how to find me if you want to see all my postings on the whole social media thing. Facebook, I'm under Ara Galenian. That's Gelenian. I'm also at BP Video on the good old Twitter and Instagram page. So look me up if you want. If you have nothing else to do, if you want, things like that. So anyway, my last stream. I gave kind of part one of my origin story, how I got into films, and I talked about both my parents love movies, and so both my parents love movies, and they love different kinds of movies. And I first saw Star Wars when I was 3 years old, and that's how I got into that. Got me hooked, even though I don't really remember it, but I've seen it 1,000 times since then, and that's how I got hooked into movies, and how I ended up progressing. Kind of running the crazy weave of life and how I got into doing my video work. So this live stream, I'll give a kind of part two of my origin story, how I got into the whole pop culture comic book thing, and this is kind of a hint right here of how I ended up, getting into the whole comic book thing. As you see, there's some. Let's see, get the thing right here. There is so there's some posters behind me. So I my parents when I was a kid would buy me comic books, obviously because I didn't exactly have a job when I was 9 years old, so they would buy me comic books. Hey Eric, see you there. Thanks for stopping by. Eric, former college student of mine, long time colleague and friend, so thanks for stopping by. So my parents would get me comic books when I was a kid, off spinner racks. We'd go to a supermarket, wherever, and get things off of spinner racks. And then I think a few years into high school, when Dark Horse Comics had the Star Wars license, they put out a miniseries called Dark Empire, where I don't want to ruin too much for you in case you haven't read it yet. It's a miniseries where basically Luke turns to the dark side. And then about 3 years after that, I think a few years into college, Dark Horse did a sequel series called, obviously, I know this is a stretch, Dark Empire 2. Oh, so no, a little bit of a stretch there, but I bought that miniseries off a spinner rack. And then one day I'm walking through my local mall that I shop at. I won't tell you where, but my local mall that I shop at. And it was the last day of my final exams. My exam wasn't until 2 o'clock. I was all studied out. I figured I got some time to burn. Let me walk around my mall. So happened to walking down the hall in the mall, end up seeing a comic book store. I'm like, ooh, comic book stores sell comic books. Oh, anyway, so little side note. Hey Jay, how's it going? And Mr. and Mrs. Jay's parents. So how's it going? Thanks for watching, you guys. Yeah, Ryan, Dark Empires, yeah, definitely a fantastic miniseries. So, even if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, or if you were and are not anymore because of the sequel trilogy, um, don't hold it against Dark Horse. Dark Horse actually did some really excellent, really good series. And Dark Horse or Dark Empire to me is definitely one of the top ones. So, if you haven't read it, look it up. So, anyway, found a comic book store at my local mall. I ended up. Dark Empire 2 had I missed issue 5, so I had 1 through 4 and 6. So I ended up finding issue 5 at this comic book store for Dark Empire 2, found the trade for Dark Empire, bought both of them, and as they say, the rest is history. That was about mid 90s. So I shopped at that store for a few years. That went out of business. Then shopped at a local, another comic book store for a couple years, the last 2 years that I was in grad school. And then shopped at another store for 9 years. Then just shopped at another store for 7 years, and then just started shopping at another store. So it's been a interesting time. So I love comic books. I love comic book art over here, not over here. That's my window shade comic book art. I go to a lot of Comic Cons, or back in the day when we could get together before the zombie pandemic started. I went to a lot of Comic Cons and met a lot of cool people. So Dark Empire is basically how I got back into comic books, which is funny because a couple of the artists, I think the cover artist for the Dark Empire and Dark Empire 2 series, I ended up meeting at a Boston Con back a few years. You have a cool window shade too, Ryan? See, that's so cool, Ryan, because it's now I feel like I'm cool like Ryan Wynn, even though I could never be, because it's a window shade. So it's here's a window, and it's obviously dark outside because of where I am, but it's a window shade. So actually, what I should do is I should hire one of my artist friends to do have a commission and draw on the window shade. That would be, maybe he could draw a window on the window shade, so it looks like my window shade is always up. There's an idea. See, Ryan Wynn. See, that's why you need to subscribe to Ryan Wynn's YouTube page, because, well, he's awesome, and I can also say I know somebody awesome. So, that's the way it is. Because Ryan Wynn, like I said, you can't lose with Ryan Wynn. It's always a win with Wynn. Anyway, so I got into comic books because of my parents. Because again, when I was 9 years old, I didn't have any of my own money. And then I got into, started with my part-time jobs through college. Got back into comic books because of Dark Empire and Dark Empire 2 through Dark Horse, and then the rest is history. Shopped at many comic book stores. So Shalala Productions. Hey, Robert, how are you? Thanks for joining. So it's comic books. I love, to me, I realize comic books is a visual, medium. Obviously, the art. To me, art is important, but I love a good story. So, to me, it's tell me a good story. Tell me I want to be captivated by the story, by the people in it. If I'm supposed to love a character, help me to love that character. If I'm supposed to, not like a character, help me to not like him. If I'm supposed to like him and then not like him, or not like him first and then like him, help me to do that. Now, I don't profess to be a writer, but I don't want to make it sound like, oh, you just wake up one morning and poof, you have a great idea. I'm sure Ryan can tell you that. Yeah, I'm sure Ryan can tell you, like, it's probably not easy coming up, or at least in general, not coming up with a great idea easily. It's not like I'm going to eat my Fruit Loops and poof, wow, I have a great idea. Sometimes maybe that helps out, maybe that does work, but I'm guessing not all the time. But I don't want to make it sound like coming up with a great idea is easy. But in any case, tell me a great story, and you'll have me, and you'll have my money, you'll have my hard-earned money, and I could. So, I know one of the streams that I would like to do would be to talk about some of my favorite indie comics, my indie comic series. I know, obviously, Alterna Comics. I've talked about them before. Alterna Comics, a local. I'm on the East Coast, a local East Coast publisher. I'm friends with the owner, so yeah, Robert, I say the story is big for you too. Yeah, it's I would love to talk if you have any suggestions for guests to come onto my live stream. Please, look me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Send me, send me guest ideas, because future streams I will be talking to people, interviewing people on my personal YouTube page about, if you have projects, if you yeah, comics for everyone, Ryan. Absolutely. So if you have ideas, because I know you probably don't want to hear me babble on and on for forever in live streams. And to be honest with you, I don't want to hear me babble on and on forever in my live streams. So please, if you have guest ideas, look me up on social media. If you know how to contact me, in other ways, email me, call me, singing telegrams, postcards, letters, however you want to I know people aren't traveling very much these days, but if you want to fly out, as long as we do it safely, I guess. So, so anyway, yes, please, if you have guest ideas, if you have topic ideas, I know one idea I came up with on my last stream. I'm going to be Pony Express, Ryan. Ooh, that's good. I didn't even think. See, that's another reason why I like Ryan when he goes always coming up with a good idea. Pony Express. So, email, social media, texting, Pony Express, singing telegrams. Paul Revere going through the Boston countryside saying the regulars are out. Or you want to get me a message, get me a message. So another topic I'm going to be doing soon, and I already have a couple of guests lined up, is an Ed Wood appreciation night. If you don't know who Ed Wood is, look him up online, look him up on Google, or if your local library is open. And for all you kids out there, libraries are these big buildings with lots of books in them, but that's not important right now. Yeah, Robert, Smoke Signal, that's good too. Bat Signal, Smoke Signal. Yeah, it's so it's those are, yes. So Ed Wood, I'm gonna have an Ed Wood appreciation night. Yeah, Ryan, if you want to come on as a guest, I have a couple of other guests lined up. If you want to come on, you can, or Ryan, if you want to. I know, Ryan, you have a Indiegogo campaign. If you have any Indiegogo or any kind of crowdfunding campaigns going on that you want to promote, or know anybody who does, please get in touch with me. Again, emails, voicemails, social media, smoke signals, singing telegrams, any way you want to. So I'm going to be having some guests for any comic book series that are coming out. If they're doing independent films, I know I have a friend of mine who's working in pre-production on a film that I think I'm going to be yes, Ryan, I will, absolutely. So I have a friend who's in pre-production on a film I think I'm going to be helping them with. And so, any films, any projects, any projects of any kind, if you have a guest idea, please let me know, because I know you don't want to hear me babble on and on. I don't want to hear me babble on and on. I think my mother doesn't want to hear me babble on and on. So, who knows? Maybe I'll have my mother on a live stream one day. She can talk about family. She loves family history, so she can talk about my grandparents immigrating to here. So, hey, Steven, how's it going? How's it going, Steve? Hope you're well. Thanks for popping in. So, yeah. So anyway, comic books and movies. So this is my private. This is my my personal YouTube page. So I will be putting together a kind of a professional YouTube page, talking about videos and movies, things like that, projects that I have coming up. So yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I love movies. I got into movies because of my parents. I got into to comic books because I love the artwork. Artwork is awesome too, by the way. So I know a couple of people in the live chat here, including Ryan, are fantastic artists. So I loved I loved the inking on the Divinity series, Ryan. It was completely awesome. There's a Valiant Comics, a publisher that put out a few miniseries called Divinity that Ryan in the chat was the inker on. Absolutely awesome series, awesome inker. Ryan is, and then so yeah, and he did a few other series, including an alternative series called Gods and Gears. Absolutely fantastic. Look it up. And alternative comics books are extremely inexpensive as far as price is concerned, compared to the regular, like the big two and everybody else. But the quality as far as writing and artwork and lettering is through the stratosphere. So absolutely fantastic. So anyway, what else can I talk about today? So again, just to backtrack a little bit, two of my friends, Wild Bill and David J, their birthdays are today. So happy birthday to you two guys. Alterna Comics live stream 9 p.m. Look them up. So, and then how to find me, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can look me up on those. So if you have any other questions, let me know. Again, any live, any guest and or topic advice or ideas, please let me know. I'm open to pretty much anything. So yeah, writing so good. He also did an image. Comics miniseries called Hiding in Time, I think it was called. Fantastic, kind of a very interesting twist and spin on the whole FBI, like what's it called, the the where they give you a new identity and that whole thing. So kind of an interesting twist on the on that whole idea. So so yeah, it's so it's fantastic idea, and he's also currently, like I said, working on Gods and Gears through Alterna Comics. Fantastic. So Hiding in Time. That's the name of. Reprint Hiding in Time. Hiding in Time on newsprint. That would be that was pretty cool. I guess it's kind of the witness protection program, I think they call it. So kind of a witness protection plan. Yeah. So thank you. Kind of an interesting spin on the witness protection plan called Hiding in Time. Very, very. Hey, publishing Pete Samedi. Speaking of publishing Pete Samedi, I'll have to have Pete Samedi as a guest on my live stream at one point. His live stream, Alterna Comics, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's so definitely check him out too. I'm kind of like the speaking of newsprint, I'm kind of like the pre-party. I'm kind of like the pre-party live stream here. So I was going to do a live stream as a pre-party live stream to Geronimo, another fantastic comic book writer and artist. He's absolutely fantastic. Look him up. Geronimo Draws, another great YouTube live stream. Look him up. So I was going to do a pre-party live stream last night to Geronimo Draws, but then I decided to do it tonight as a pre-party to the Alterna Comics Peter thing. So, Media Man and Donald Dog comics. Uh, I've not read those. I don't think I've read those, but I'll have to look those up. So anyway, you think the creator is here with us? Mm. So, yeah, I don't think I've read those, Trevor. So, Trevor's a video coworker of mine. Um, yeah, it's this is the pre-party. So I feel like a little bit. I'll have my own guests and my own topics, but I can also be kind of a pre-party live stream that you guys can hang out with the bald one for a few minutes and then move on to you know move on to the actual really cool people. So anyway, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So again, let's see, let's do the where am I here? Oh, yes, RZ. Yeah, publishing. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Pete, for I'll the next starting with the next stream, I will actually be on for a good like 45 minutes to an hour with actual guests and actual topics and a little bit more. So I'm not just me babbling on about like I like movies. So anyway, again, so yeah, I'm gonna so again, publishing Pete Simetti, 9 p.m. Alterna Comics live stream. Make sure you catch it. Geronimo Draws, Ryan Wynn, yeah, Robert Geronimo on Geronimo Draws. He has a great live stream. Ryan Wynn, awesome. So if you're looking for some great indie publishing, Alterna Comics is fantastic. So anyway, I'm going to call it a night for right now, but so I didn't want to take too much of your time tonight. So everybody, thanks for joining me. Thanks for saying hi in the live chat. Hope I didn't bore you guys too much. Again, Wild Bill and David J, happy birthday. So until next time, pop culture fans, peace out. Be excellent to each other. Love you. You guys are awesome. Till next time.